Hey, what's going on, guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Today we're going to talk about my gear loadout for a 5-day trip that I'm headed out into the Uintas Mountains here in Utah with Tim Watson, Wasatch Will, Josh Ebersol, Subaru Josh, and Josh Herod, Karate Josh. And this is going to be a loadout that is for a 5-day trip. So it's not super different from other gear loadouts that you've seen, but the reason I wanted to do this is typically my gear load videos have been for 3-day trips, and I'm going to show you what I've put together for a 5-day trip. And in this sense, where I'm actually not going to be sharing any gear with somebody else, what you're looking at is a 24-pound, including food and water kit, or a 13-pound base weight without food and water. And so we're going to dive into all of the contents inside the pack here right now. I'm going to start with the side pockets, then this front pocket, and then we'll get into the main compartment. But part of this is I carry a tripod to make making videos a little bit easier. And then I always carry a 23-ounce water bottle as well as a 33-ounce water bottle. So in the Uintas, with water being as accessible as it is, I don't carry 2 full liters because I literally can stop pretty much anywhere and get water anytime that I want. Also on the side pocket of the pack here is my tent poles and my stakes, which I'll show you which tent that is here in a minute. Now to get into the pack a little bit, this is the Waymark gear through 38. Yes, the through 38. This is a custom pack that I had made. It's got a lot of different options and stuff on it that make it a little bit different than Waymark's like ready-made packs, but really excited about this pack, and I'm going to do a full review on this in a different video. Down in the front mesh pocket here, I've got wipes for doing my business. My raincoat, which is the Ortovox Civetta jacket. In this pouch, I've got my first aid kit. And then this is a prototype product that I'm carrying with me from Kiva Outdoors. This is what we're going to call the backcountry porch. I'm taking this to do some testing, see how I like it. And then I've got new for my backpacking system, a buff. Now, if you watched my previous Uintas trip video, my neck got so sunburned, like to the point that it was blistering. So I went and bought a buff to help warrant that. In this side pocket, I've got my Scenic Vecto water bag. And then for this trip, I'm going to be carrying the Hydro Blue VersaFlow as opposed to my Sawyer because it does save a little bit of weight. On this side, I've got my solar charger, which is just a battery bank from Amazon. Then in this little tiny bag, I've got various items like my hygiene kit, bug spray. I've got my charging cables, an extra battery for my camera. And so that's just a little bag there. Now diving into the top of the pack. Right on top of the pack, I've got one of my food bags. This has all of my dinners in it. I'm going very different from how I normally pack, and I am doing dehydrated or meals to rehydrate, where I'm only boiling water instead of doing any kind of cooking. So no fry bake in this kit. And then I've got the rest of my food, which is lunches, snacks, and breakfast items. Those are in the Kiva Outdoors Granddaddy Basin bag, which is a 4-liter stuff bag, carrying a 100-gram fuel canister. I've got another zipper style bag that is a 3-liter bag that has all of my extra clothes in it, plus a bunch of other random stuff. I've got my headlamp, which is my Black Diamond Iota. I've got a bear rope and rock sack from Light AF Gear. Carrying a lantern, my Nightcore LR10, a microfiber towel. I got my pillow in here. Then I've got an extra set of underwear, 2 pairs of socks, my spoon, my long handle spoon, and then my thermals for staying warm while I sleep. Then I've got a flannel shirt that I'll carry for extra warmth. This is my Toaks Titanium 700 milliliter titanium pot in a light AF Dyneema pot sack. A little lighter. And then inside, you guys have seen this before, I carry a little GSI cup. But in this tiny little bag, I have my brand new, yet to be used out in the field, Soto Windmaster stove with just the 3-prong stand as opposed to taking the 4-flex because I don't need that. Then we're getting to the bottom, guys. We're getting there. Almost. All right. So I mentioned before that I've got that light AF rucksack, which happens to be a food bag kit, which this is technically a food bag from Light AF. And so I'm using it as a dry bag, like a pack liner, as opposed to a food bag in this case. And so then I've got my Big Agnes AXOLAIR insulated pad with the Pump House sack in there, my Exped Mira 1 tent, my Arc'teryx down puffy, and then last but not least, my Hammock Gear Burrow 40-degree quilt with snap closure on it as opposed to being a sewn foot box or anything. So then the Dyneema stuff bag, because we are expecting quite a bit of rain this trip. Normally, depending on the weather, especially with a pack made out of X-Pack, I don't even worry about really carrying a pack liner anymore. But in this case, I want to be safe, and so I'm not going to take my chances, and I am going to put my stuff in a dry bag. Last thing that I do carry is this Barca Lounger, or this piece of 1/8-inch foam that's wrapped in Tyvek to be a frame sheet for my pack, as well as a place to sit comfortably. And then I also use this as a torso length pad underneath my sleeping pad to give me some added warmth. So super multi-use item here. You guys have seen this before in a gear loadout. But some of this stuff is new, like my pack and my AXOLAIR and the Soto stove, as well as the Kiva Outdoors stuff bags that I'm using to carry all of my gear. So with all of that you've seen, again, that's 24 pounds, just over 24 pounds. It's like 24 and 3 ounces. And then a 13 pound to the dot base weight. Pretty impressive in that sense. So there you go, guys. That is my 24-pound lightweight backpacking gear list with food and water for a 5-day backpacking trip in the high Uinta wilderness. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to support me in other ways and donate to the channel, you can check out me on Patreon down in the description. And as always, guys, I say this every video, but I truly mean it. Hope you have an awesome day. If you've ever wondered, sitting like that on your knees for 9-10 minutes at a time, not good. Not good for my old man knees.